I'm coming to you live from my son's soccer practice. I just had a few thoughts, things I needed to share, and this is very well maybe the only time I get to do it. So here we are. Three things. First is something a question that I got this past Sunday at church from a person who's the father of a veteran, and that veteran passed away, and he was asking what to do about the disability benefit because now the veteran has passed and they need to stop that. So I'm going to talk about what to do when a veteran passes away or if you're in charge of their estate. And then I'm going to talk about an intent to file and everything that covers, because I talked with a veteran last week who didn't realize everything that covers. And lastly, I'm going to share a few wins that I had over the past few days for clients. That was really exciting. So first thing is, if you are the executor or partner or spouse of a veteran and that veteran passes away, if they have no dependents, like if they don't have a spouse or children on their benefit, then that award stops when they pass away. And usually VA gets notified because when a death certificate is issued, then that goes into the system and things happen kind of automatically. But sometimes that's not the case, and it wasn't the case for the person who asked me the question this past Sunday. So I advised them to call VA and let them know. So you call 1-800-827-1000 and you let them know that veteran has passed. So when you call that number, you're going to need the veteran's social security number, you're going to need the veteran's date of birth, and which branch of service that they served in. And then you let them know, and they're able to pause that benefit while they verify, and then you don't end up with a bunch of overpayment because, once they do get notified that the veteran has passed away, then they're going to come back and ask you for all of the months that they were paying after the veteran had passed. So it's really best to get that cleared up as soon as possible. Now, if the veteran does have a dependent, like a spouse or a child under the age of 18 or under the age of 23 and in full-time school, then the disability benefit may turn into what's called DIC, Dependency and Indemnity Compensation. And that is an award that goes to the spouse of a veteran if the veteran dies from a service-connected condition, or if the veteran has been 100% permanent in total for 10 or more years, then their dependents get a monetary stipend for the rest of their lives. So that's exciting. And now I'm going to talk about intent to files. So I had a veteran who has an intent to file. We were discussing all the things that they want to claim. And that veteran said, well, do we need to choose which one gets to use the intent to file? So then I was able to explain that an intent to file covers anything that you claim on that day. So if on that, whichever day that you decide to file, if you file a 526EZ, if you file a supplemental claim, if you file a higher level review, they all will use that same intent to file. So as long as you file it on the same day, you can file for 8 conditions, you can file for 18 conditions, doesn't matter. They all get that same benefit of the earliest possible effective date thanks to that intent to file. So hope that clears that up. And then lastly, I just want to share a few celebratory things that I was able to celebrate with my clients this past week. I had a client go from a 60% disability rating to a 90% disability rating, which is great. I had a client that was service connected at 0% for something, and then we brought that up to 50%, which is incredible. And then the best was today, I was able to get a veteran to 100%, which is just so exciting. And that claim was a really interesting experience. So this veteran, we had put in a supplemental claim They had gone for exams for the conditions. The exams looked favorable, looked like he was going to get the ratings that he deserved for those conditions. And we were just waiting on the decision. Well, the decision came last week, and the decision just continued his previous ratings, which were not accurate and did not does not reflect his level of disability. So I put in, since we were within, I think it's 30 or 60 days, if as soon as that decision is made, if you know that they just really missed something obvious and you have a claims agent or a lawyer, they can put in something called a claims accuracy request, CAR. And it's like a higher level review, but it's fast tracked. So I put that in on Friday, and I just explained in the claim form, hey, my veteran has these symptoms that equal this higher rating, and you